So today I'm going to teach you how to make clarified butter. You're going to need a pound of butter, which is 4 sticks of butter. Next, we're going to take each stick of butter and dice them into cubes. Next, we're going to place all the cubes of butter in a small sauce pot. Next, we're going to turn the stove on to a medium-low heat to allow the butter to slowly melt and to come to a soft simmer. And as the butter continues to melt and comes to a soft simmer, the milk solids are going to separate from the butter fat, and we have to skim that off from the surface. And so you'll use cheesecloth and a slotted spoon. You'll take the cheesecloth and cut a square out of it and wrap it around the spoon, because the cheesecloth will help catch the milk solid foam that's going to rise to the surface. So using that spoon that we prepared, you'll go ahead and skim off the milk solids and discard the milk solid foam into a cup. You're going to have to skim this for quite a while, but I promise that the outcome is worth it, even though it's tedious. As the butter continues to simmer and the milk solids float to the top, towards the end of the process, some of the milk solids will start to sink to the bottom of the pan. And also, towards the end, when there's not so much milk solids left, I like to grab a different spoon, like a normal spoon, to just get the last of those milk solids out, because it's a lot easier. So once you start to notice that no more milk solids are floating to the surface, you can go ahead and turn off the stove. And the reason why we skim the milk solids off very carefully is because we're trying not to waste a lot of the end product. Next, I removed the pot from the burner that was hot so that way it could stop simmering and everything could start settling. And continue to skim the remaining milk solids until they're pretty much all gone. Next, you're going to take a glass bowl and put a good size piece of cheesecloth over it, because the cheesecloth is going to strain, because we're going to strain the clarified butter, and the cheesecloth will catch any excess milk proteins. And I thought about putting a rubber band like around the bowl so that way the cheesecloth didn't sink in, and I didn't do it and I should have, so I suggest you do it. And this is what it looks like when you have strained all of the milk solids out. I like to double check to see if there's any more milk solids at the bottom, and in that shot you can see that there was. So I just go ahead and gently pour it into another container to get the last bit of the milk solids out of it. As you can see right there, I make sure that that doesn't pour into it. And I poured mine into a measuring cup so that way I could easily pour it into a mason jar. And so I put my clarified butter into mason jars so I can easily store it in the fridge. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed learning.